Advice I'd give if I had 7 minutes with a 20-year-old me. Well, first and foremost, I would tell myself to start saving whatever money I could when I could. I know, just like everybody else, I like to buy and splurge on stuff that I probably don't need, but that I really want because I have the money. And also just start something. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, time is the biggest factor in the success of whatever you want to try to do, be it an instrument, be it editing, be it whatever. It's going to take time. And the longer you wait to do something, obviously, the less time you have to get good at whatever that something is. I mean, like if I could go back and talk to even a 15-year-old me, I would start playing the guitar earlier than I did. I mean, I started playing when I was 17, all self-taught off of YouTube. But I would have started even earlier because, I mean, starting at 17, that gives me less time to have been a guitar player. I mean, obviously, the earlier you start doing something, the better you're gonna eventually be at it. So, I mean, like Mac Miller said, it's not a better time than today to start anything, whether or even stop something. I mean, in terms of, if I'm drawing on my alcoholic experiences, which is another thing I would tell specifically me and pretty much anybody who struggles with alcoholism is just stop. I know it's incredibly hard because if you're anything like me, like I had a legit addiction, I felt like I actually needed to drink. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, I mean, nothing good comes from drinking. I mean, the amount of things that I've lost due to drinking is insurmountable. I mean, I lost everything aside from my house. But the biggest thing I've lost out on is just like job opportunities. I got a DUI in 2022, and that followed me, obviously for years to come. And, there's several jobs that I missed out on because of that. Good jobs. I mean, jobs where I wouldn't even have to be doing this. But that's besides the point. I mean, like I said, if I was talking to a younger me, or if you're a drinker, quit now. Unless you can control it. I mean, if you can control it, that's different. If you're someone like me who can't control it and you have to drink, all day, then I mean, yeah, it's best to just cut it out because nothing good is going to come from that. Either it's already happened or it just hasn't happened yet. I mean, you talk to any alcoholic, it's only really a matter of time. I could make an entire video about alcoholism, and I already have, and I'll probably make another one just because it's old. But another thing I would say, focus on your career. I, like I said, was driving trucks in my early to mid 20s, and I didn't get my EMT until I was, I think, 24 or so, because I've been an EMT for the past 6 years since 2020. So I haven't worked on an ambulance in the past year. I worked on an ambulance for like 5 years, but for the past year or so, I've just worked in just basic healthcare. But yeah, I would say, find a career early and then just kind of focus on it. Like my gig has just been healthcare. I mean, I guess that's what I'm good at. But other people are good at different things. And I mean, I think you should always have a side hustle. Like for me, it's, YouTube and just other small ventures and whatnot. I want to branch off into like YouTube fishing, get me like a chest cam and whatnot because I really like fishing. But I think you should, obviously try and make money off of your habits or hobbies. I like fishing, so if there's a way that I could do that with like, a fishing YouTube channel, that'd be cool. I also try to hustle my EMT license as much as I can. Like right now I do this first aid stuff where like basically, long story short, companies need a medical professional to maybe circumvent an ambulance. And because I have experience working on an ambulance, they called me to go over there, assess the patient. Do they need an ambulance? Do they not need an ambulance? And most of the time they don't. It's like somebody, stubbed their toe or something like that, or, dropped a pallet on their finger. So I go there, assess it, tell them they don't need an ambulance, and then that saves the company money as far as having to call an ambulance. But, as a healthcare professional, you're always going to hear people say, advocate for your patient. You got to advocate for your patient. So if they got to go to the hospital, then I'm always an advocate for going to the hospital. And I mean, I've actually gotten into arguments with the people on site, like the supervisor. Like the guy tried to tell me, like, well, we call you over here so we don't have to call the ambulance. And I'm like, yeah, but this guy, clearly needs to go to the hospital. I tell myself to stop worrying so much about the right now, which is kind of like where I'm at currently. it doesn't do you any good to stress over things. Years from now, those things that you were stressing on, you won't even remember what they were. Obviously, stress is a good thing. You should stress on certain things, like your bills need to be paid. Obviously, you're going to find a way to get, however much money you need. Your kids need to be fed. You're obviously going to be able to find out a way to feed your kids. So stress is good in a lot of situations, but I think stressing over small things or things you can't control or things that you can control but maybe you can't control right now, it's just not really worth, getting your blood pressure all pumped up over. Put a pin in it and then come back to it later. That's kind of like the best thing you can do in those situations. I haven't dealt with relationship situations in, shoot, 4 or 5 years, and I want to keep it that way. But that's a whole other ball field. That's stuff that if you live together, like when me and my ex-wife lived together, that's stuff that you can't really just sit and ignore. Which is probably why I drank a lot. I didn't handle my situations appropriately. I was still young and immature. I think standing your ground or sticking up for yourself is another thing I would, preach to anybody. This is advice I'd give to, my nephews, my younger self. I don't know about you, but like when I was married, I went along with the happy wife, happy life motto. And I'm not saying be an asshole, but, there's certain things that, like, if you're not getting, you can certainly have a constructive conversation about, why you're not getting it or what you want out of the relationship or something like that. I don't think you can ever be wrong with just simply communicating how you feel. I think if the other person gets upset with that, then maybe it's your delivery or maybe they, are unreasonable. I'm not really too sure. I don't want to point fingers and stuff because, who knows how I was. I never dealt with me. The only person who dealt with me was my ex-wife. So it's unfair for me to say, oh, she was this or she was that. My delivery on a lot of things, could have been a lot better. And even today, my delivery could be a lot better. A lot of times I'm a little abrasive whenever I say things or do things. But if you're, simply and calmly communicating, hey, I didn't like that, or this is how I feel, I don't think that should ever lead to an argument. If it does, there's certainly some communication issues on some parties' end, because it shouldn't be a problem to just say how you feel. But that's thankfully an issue that I don't have to worry about anymore. Don't get me wrong, like I would love coming home to like a woman and my kid and whatnot, but the fact of the matter is that that didn't work out, so that doesn't happen. Am I gonna sit here and beat myself up over it? I could, and I have, but I'm over that now. I see my kid whenever I want, and we have a good time, and I don't stress over certain things that I can't control, and that's the biggest thing I would just leave myself with. Like, hey man, focus on your career, don't stress on things you can't control, and quit drinking, and your life will be fantastic. But, obviously I can't tell myself that. But if you have any similar issues, I would tell you that, especially if you feel like you have a problem with drinking. The first sign that you have a problem with drinking is that you feel like you have a problem with drinking. If you feel like you have a problem with drinking, you probably have a problem, and you should probably quit. That's just, I feel like that's just solid advice, period. One drink, on a Friday or Saturday is okay, but if you're doing it every single day, that's a problem. But anyway, I appreciate everybody's time. Just wanted to hop on here and talk a little bit about, some advice I'd give to a younger me. Peace out.